everybody. Welcome. My name is Elizabeth O'Rourke, and I am co-chair for the Village of Mamaroneck Arts Council. Readers and listeners, welcome to the 24th Annual Poetry Live Festival at the Emelin Theater. Thank you to the staff here, to LMC-TV, and most especially to our courageous co-chairs, Marina and Jane. Each year, we are delighted to witness the words and lines of young poets in our community, and the planning and effort that goes into making this a flawless event is so wholly appreciated. For after the program, we do have a beautiful Arts Council step and repeat that we've placed outside the front doors. It makes a really lovely backdrop for photos, family photos, or group photos with your classmates and fellow poets, so please take advantage of that. We also have our newest installation out in the lobby, which is our poetry post. It's a really nice station where you can choose a really beautiful poem-printed postcard, and you can send it to a friend or a loved one, so you just need to address it, send a note, and drop it in the mailbox on the other side, and the Arts Council will stamp and mail it for you throughout the month of April. So it takes a little time at the end of the program to enjoy those. But for now, I would like to take a brief moment to address our bright students who will be sharing work this afternoon. Thank you for your courage to engage in the act of writing itself, and for your bravery to stand on stage and to give a voice to your writing. It is a radical act to call up and articulate what is stirring in your heart, and we are so grateful that you do. Parents, be proud. Meeting your writer where he, she, or they are and truly listening is a powerful offering. So, let's begin. Our very first reader is the Poet Laureate of Mamaroneck. Melissa Joplin Higley is serving her first term and has sown healthy seeds of poetry all around the village, working with the Mamaroneck Library, with students in our summer camps, as well as facilitating workshops within high school classrooms. Her chapbook, First Father, was published last year and is an incredible exploration of family, longing, and ultimately belonging. She is a poet, editor, and facilitator, and she holds an MFA from Sarah Lawrence College. Please help me give a warm welcome to Melissa.
Thank you, Liz. Good afternoon, everyone. First, I want to congratulate all of the students. Again, I will reiterate what Liz was saying about finding the courage not only to write poetry, but to be willing to get up here on stage and share it with a live audience. You all deserve another round of applause. To the Arts Council, thank you for inviting me to Poetry Live again for my third year. Every year I'm here, I am just impressed by the dedication of these students and by the sheer quality of their work. Thanks also to the Arts Council for their support of me as the current Mamaroneck Poet Laureate. I've thoroughly enjoyed this first year in service to our community, bringing poetry to the Harbor Camp, the day camp at Harbor Island Park, our local library, and our local schools. I recently had the privilege of working with 2 sections of creative writing classes at Mamaroneck High School, and I'm excited to see that there is still great interest in exploring creative writing in our schools. The teachers and administrators who keep these programs alive and flourishing also deserve a round of applause. The poem I'm reading today, and that is shared in this year's Poetry Live anthology, was originally published last year in an international literary journal based in Prague called Body Literature. It is also featured online in the Global Gallery section of Poets for Science. This poem got its inspiration and title from an online article in CNN World called Starfish Bodies Aren't Bodies at All, and utilizes many of the scientific facts found in that article juxtaposed with bits of personal narrative. Jane Hirschfield, a poet, essayist, translator, and founder of Poets for Science, says, "Poetry and science are allies, not opposites. Both are instruments of discovery, and together they make the 2 feet of one walking. Observation and imagination, the microscope and the metaphor, the sense of amazement. You need all of them to take the measure of a moment, of a life. Poetry and science each seek to ground our lives in both what exists and the sense of the large, of mystery and awe. Every scientist I know is grounded in curiosity, wonder, the spirit of exploration, the spirit of service, as is every poet. Lucille Langday, in her essay, Poetry and the Language of Science, from the book Poetry and Science, writes, "My first discovery was that the language of science is beautiful and that it can therefore enhance the beauty of a poem. I realized that poetry uses all of the same mental skills as science, plus more. Poetry uses logic, reasoning, observation, and knowledge, just like science. Logic in poetry, though, is not necessarily linear, inductive, or deductive. A poem can move by association, and it can move in a circle. It can break up grammar and reshuffle the parts of speech as surely as a chemical reaction breaks up molecules and reshuffles them. I often utilize science in my own poetry for these very reasons. Both disciplines are based in curiosity and wonder, and I invite you to try bringing science and research into your own work to create surprising juxtapositions, connections, and discoveries. With that in mind, I'd like to share my poem with you. Starfish bodies aren't bodies at all. They're essentially just giant heads, without blood or brains. At age 13, I had my first migraine. I lost my peripheral vision and walked into a parked car at the mall, banging my stomach into its fender. Starfish spit their stomachs out through their mouths to engulf and digest their food. That year in 8th grade, our health science teacher warned us about eating disorders, and we worried who might fall prey. Evolving over time, starfish lost their torsos after the essential organs moved into their arms. No one explained to us the difference between fasting and starving. Either one will make the torso disappear. When only a head is left, there's too much time to think about things, like how after too many years fasting and dysmorphia, a dancer friend chose to starve instead. These spiny stars can choose any direction, freed from knowing their bodies aren't bodies at all. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Marina Kiriakou, and this is my partner, Jane Dorian.
Hello.
And we are so pleased to welcome you to our 24th annual Poetry Live. This event is very dear to us at the Arts Council, and we're so pleased to thank the teachers, our collaborators in this great event, and certainly the students. You have outdone yourselves. The poems are absolutely beautiful. I wanted to bring into our space the name Mary Louise Cox. Most of you don't know her, but 24 years ago, she had the vision of starting this event here in Mamaroneck, and she was our poet laureate. She had a tenure of 22 years serving our village. She was an inspiration and a real force, and so much are we indebted to her, not only for this event, but for bringing a love of poems and literature to our village, that we dedicated, the Arts Council and the village, a garden across the street to Mary Louise's memory. So just one more sign that this village is really behind poetry. So thanks for joining us. I want to thank a few people, and then we'll get on with the program. First of all, our mayor, Sharon Torres, and our Board of Trustees, several of whom are here. Thank you so much for joining us. What's important about being backed up by the village is that they help fund programs like this. They give us the okay, and we're able to invite all of you and bring this kind of a program forward. I want to thank my colleagues at the Arts Council, because all of us are very enthusiastic about producing this every year. We work hard, and it certainly does take a village. The Emelin Theater for being here for us always and making this event go seamlessly. LMC Media for taping it, so you will all get copies of this recording when it's over. Arcadia Florist for generously donating these flowers to brighten our stage. Trader Joe's has supplied some snacks for us. J. Anderson Bookstore has donated a gift for our raffle, which comes later. And Arborn Printing, who every year they help us with this anthology and do a beautiful job printing it. Each one of you will get a copy. So I think that's it. Other than thank you, students, thank you, teachers. Jane?
Okay. All right. So, I'm Jane Dorian, and I work very closely with Marina. I now have the privilege of introducing our MC and our special honoree, Diane Sarna. Now, who is Diane Sarna? An English teacher at Fox Lane High School in Bedford, New York, where she has taught for 26 years of her 38-year teaching career. Is that amazing? Well, in addition to teaching, she is the faculty advisor to the Creative Writing Club in her school. Her hope is to provide as many opportunities as possible for young writers to learn, to publish, and be heard. And she has been involved in Poetry Live for about 23 years, almost since its inception. She has been taking her students here to have the privilege of having poetry with an audience like this. So it is amazing. In addition to that, she also coordinates a yearly Young Authors Conference at Putnam Northern Westchester BOCES, offering a smorgasbord of workshops with famous writers and poets, and this is done for serious high school writers from many schools. It's very successful every year. In her not-so-free time, she volunteers for several service organizations. She is co-president of the Hearts of Hope. She is on the regional board for AFS International. They promote exchange opportunities for people like yourselves, for high school age students to go to other countries. She has traveled several times with her students to Nicaragua and Dominican Republic to work on community projects, even building houses. In her free time, she does aqua fitness twice a week. She teaches that. And in the summer, she's a waterfront director in her own town. This year will be her last year in Poetry Live, since she is retiring from Fox Lane at the end of the year. But even after she retires, she says she will always be involved in teaching in some way, in some fashion. However, she has a new grandchild, and she is looking forward to happily taking care of him at least once a week. So what else can I say about Diane Sarna? She is one of the most interesting people to talk to. She's cheerful, kind, a loving person, the kind of person you want to spend time with. And today, you will have that opportunity, since Diane is our featured guest speaker and MC. So please join me in welcoming this remarkable teacher to the Poetry Live stage.
I'm exhausted just listening to that. Oh my goodness. So they let the oldest person talk, so that gets to be me. All right, I'll show you my stuff in a minute. Let me get organized. Now my speech is not that long, it's just big because I can't see. So don't be nervous, okay? All right, here we go. So, hello and welcome to Poetry Live. I have been attending this wonderful celebration since before most of you were born. Actually, it was on April 6th, 2003. It was the second annual Poetry Live event. It was actually in Rye, but there were 4 schools involved, Ripperwam, Horace Greeley, Rye Middle School, and Fox Lane High School. And that's when I met Mary Louise Cox. She's the founder, of course, and the inspiration for this event. She was a tiny woman, but she did big things. And I decided when I met her that I wanted to be like her, that I wanted to offer more writing opportunities and celebrations for student poets, kind of like we do for athletes and scholars. Now, I've been collecting Poetry Live programs, and I know, look at this. They're in my classroom. I've been collecting them since 2003, so clearly I have trouble throwing things away. So I've been struggling with this problem in my classroom. 38 years is a long time. And I've decided that one healthier method of cleaning out before I retire is to give all of those student papers that I cherish and projects and journals one last time to shine before they get tossed. So I want you to help me to say farewell to all of the memories from Poetry Live. And so rather than hearing me speak, I'm going to be sharing words from former poets. So we have to go back in time. All right, we're going to go back to 2003. Horace Greeley High School student, Jennifer Kahn. I'm not going to do full poems, just little pieces, but this is from Jennifer's poem. It's called Testing the Water, 2003. Do the math. How old is she right now? I needed to soak into these pages, slip off my shoes, and get my feet a little wet, let the margins and lines squish between my toes like a mud puddle in a schoolyard, so fresh and tempting under the monkey bars, waiting for a mischievous 5-year-old to splash in, dirtying their overalls, and receiving a stern, no, 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 finger shakes from their mother. Snaps for, yeah, come on, snaps, snaps. That was Jennifer. All right. I'm going to leap through the years. So now it's 2005. We had 2 more schools that year. Rye High School joined us, Mamaroneck High School joined us. 46 students total. I remember when Ripperwam Sisqua student Will Reeve, yes, the son of Christopher Reeve, the actor who played Superman, he read a poem about his dad who had passed away a year earlier. This is an excerpt. It's called Old Blue Eyes. Where are you going, old blue eyes? What's your rush? Got something to do? Can I come? I like having you around to teach me things, like when you said, loving is more than just diamond rings. It was cool when you came to my games, and it showed everyone it wasn't just about the fame. Where are you going, old blue eyes? What's your rush? Give him some snaps. Yeah. So 2008, we have another 3 new schools, Albert Leonard Middle School, Westlake Middle School, and Ardsley Middle School. And we're now at the Emelin Theater by then. So this is going to be Ardsley Middle School student David Fishman's untitled poem. You can hear his frustration. I am big in a world of little. I am ostracized, alone, confused. I don't know anymore. I moved to another world, but there I am little in a world of big. Give him some snaps. So now we leap to 2011, and Mary Louise Cox is still graciously welcoming students. There are 6 schools that year, 47 students, and I chose Albert Leonard Middle School student Kylie Millerat's poem, and she warns. The title was The Things About Words. You can't take them back. And when you try to replace them with I'm sorry, all you get is words, until there's nothing left but your words hanging out there in the open, and your words silently mock forever in the darkness of night, pounding in your skull as you try to drift off into sleep. But even in our peaceful dream world, they will haunt you. And no matter what you do, no matter how far you run, you can't escape them. And that's why when my mother told me she was going to the supply store, I asked to come with her because I'm going to solve the problem. I'm going to buy duct tape. All right, 2013. The Mamaroneck Arts Council became the sole sponsor of Poetry Live. And inside the cover of the program back then and now, the Arts Council mission statement mentions that their goal is to nurture and celebrate local artists. Bravo, Arts Council, you're doing a good job. So, 2013 poet is from Mamaroneck High School. Name is Ethan Marins, and this is an excerpt from his poem called The Secret, which was inspired by Taylor Mali. Here it is. I'm going to tell you a secret that very few people know. Global warming and all that other stuff is not going to end the world. That, coming from the smoke is not going to tear a hole in the thingamajig in the atmosphere, letting in that stuff from space to heat up the earth. The reason why that won't end the world is it came too late to the party. Something so much worse was already there. 2014, give or take a year because my memory is not so good. I became the MC. My mentor, Kathy Greenwood, retired, and she called to say, would you like to take over as MC? I was anxious, but I said yes. Now, Fox Lane High School student James Larkin, he figured out early in his high school career that being the long-haired, brooding poet type could make you very popular. So here's his untitled poem from 2014. Someone asked me, how do you write poetry? I responded with, I don't write poetry, I feel poetry. Poetry is the tears of the past. It's the blood that we lose. It's when the rays of the sun shine through the trees. Poetry is every bruise, cut, and scar that we receive. Poetry is forged forever, no matter what. For poetry is always there for us, for you are poetry. We are all poetry. So next time someone asks you, do you write poetry? Say no, I am poetry, and that will never change. I love that guy. We're still friends. All right. Now, as I read on, I realized that many of the poems were more social commentary on our world through the eyes of our youth. For instance, 2019, Hommick's middle school student Will Knowles, he responded to the Valentine's Day shooting at Parkland High School in this excerpt from a poem entitled Fear in Florida. Inspired by current events, coaches, teachers, and students lost their lives on this day. The sorrow and grief, there are no words to say. It made me stop and wonder, how could this world be so cruel? The very place we should feel safe is our home and our school. So 2020 was the only year without a live event due to the COVID shutdown. The publication included a note by the co-chairs of Poetry Live, Marina and Jane, now and then, okay? And they entitled their note to you, Poetry in the Time of Coronavirus. This is what they shared, parts of it. This is not how any of us imagined Poetry Live when you submitted your work a few months ago, yet here we are. Your words commemorate hope in the face of this historical time. In the meantime, keep writing. The world needs the honesty and the courage of your voices. Now, in addition to student poems in 2020, they included poems that were in response to the pandemic, including one by a very famous Amanda Gorman, who was the 2020 National Youth Poet Laureate. I hope you know her name. This is a little bit from her. While we might feel small, separate, and all alone, our people have never been more closely tethered. The question isn't if we will weather this unknown, but how we will weather this unknown together. So on this meaningful morn, we mourn and we mend like light. We can't be broken even when we bend. 2021, Mary Louise Cox, our founder and inspiration for Poetry Live, passed away a few months before our event. I'll borrow again from Amanda Gorman. Mary Louise was the light that can't be broken. Mary Louise would be absolutely thrilled by this crowded theater filled with student poets, published student poets, your family, your friends, your teachers who support you. And so after today's event, you could honor Mary Louise. If it's not pouring, walk across the street, go to her poetry garden. Now, 2021 Rhinebeck Middle School student Isaac Rabinowitz, he wrote about a garden, so I chose him. It's called Constant Colors. Yellow chrysanthemums spread like corn in vast fields. White lilies spread in the darkness, glistening like stars. Lavender lined in rows is showcased like cotton candy at the fair. I'm going to end in 2024. I discovered the perfect poem to conclude my celebration of poets past from Mamaroneck High School. Some of you may remember Sadie Yoder's poem from last year. It was called Hands Write, Thoughts Speak. Here's a bit of it. I am right-handed. My right hand is covered in blisters and bumps and is dry. Sometimes it shakes. My left hand is untouched, unscathed. I journal thoughts. Thoughts I excavate from my innermost desires. Child, they must think, as I come up for air with my fingertips covered in ink. And this is why I am training my left hand. I want to write twice as much. I want to double my dreams. So I need to thank all of the former poets who have inspired us, who have inspired me, and now let's welcome the poets of 2025. So this is how it's going to work, folks. I will call up a school. You will come up with your teacher and line up behind me here, and your teacher will call you up one at a time to read your poem. If you have your own copy, lovely. If you don't, the book is right up here where you're published. So I'm going to start by calling up Rhinebeck Middle School and my dear friend Jenny Thiel. Come on up.
Hello and welcome. We are in for a treat tonight. Let me aim that a little bit better. There we go. All right. Our first poet for today is Benjamin Schnars.
As I'm kicking the glass off the edge of the dunes, the shorebirds catch my eye from above. As they fly over the coast, they dissipate into the lowering sunset. I'm still knife-scarred after the accident. The clumsy man had no idea what he was doing. How did he not see me?
Next, Olivia Caparelli.
Once I am twice broken, I cannot be healed. My wounds are as deep as horseshoe crabs in the ocean. Swimming in the sea as the birds wing above, as the waves unfold on the beach, A boat's engine churns in the water in the distance. It's almost like a game of ping pong as the fish jump in and out of the water. I watch while being light drunk.
Aim the mic. Yep, you got it. Chris O'Connell, I'm going to aim the mic up. Come on. Is that good for you?
Yeah.
Perfect. You're right here.
On the twice broken shore, where a knife-scarred horseshoe crab clings to the salt-sweet sand, shorebirds are winging in soft arcs, winging in a ping-ponging pulse. Clumsy footprints stretch along the coast, as if the earth were unsure of where to unfold. Light drunk and spinning, I kick at the air, feel the pulse of the ocean beneath my feet, a rhythm that calls to the heart as the tide erases it all.
Next, Olivia Corrado.
My poem is titled Whispers in the Darkness. With silence, shadows creep, lost in darkness, no time for sleep. Whispers echo, fears take flight, a harrowing tale of an endless night. Figures lurk with hollow eyes, cold and empty beneath clear skies. I try to run and hide with no escape, trapped in a world where nightmares shape. The chilling wind carries cries unheard, echoes of hope, a fleeting word. With every heartbeat, the darkness tightens, a tapestry is woven with fear that brightens. Yet a flicker of light begins to gleam, a fragile hope ignites a dream.
And next, Joseph Lindenbaum.
The beautiful beach. Along the coast where waves crash onto land, knife-scarred rocks meet the warm sand. Shorebirds scatter, wings ready for flight, dissipating clouds fade to night. The glassy, glittering shore reflects dark sky, a clumsy breeze that rushes by. Kicking up sand, it gives a restless sigh as the edge of the world whispers goodbye. The sun sinks low as its colors fade. In the quiet, the ocean's laid. Listen closely to the shorebird's calls, a peaceful moment before night falls.
And next, John Patrick Ruggiero.
A deafening sound, the sun ablaze in the bluest of blue skies, a buzz across the cloud, all eyes fixed for just a glimpse. A dull roar emerges from up the road. As the vehicles approach, they rumble towards me. My heart beats through my chest, anxious for a glimpse of my hero. His car gets closer and closer. As men in suits run alongside, my pupils dilate as I see him, then Jackie. A large bang rings like thunder in a summer storm. Gas erupts from the crowd. John's body is limp like a dying flower. Heart's heavy, eyes red and flowing. The president is no more.
And next, Noel Cloak.
As the warm summer wind of the summer blew by, I heard the buzzing of planes fly towards our city, Hiroshima. We all thought it was our heroes coming home from defeating the American devils, but to our horror, with tears in my eyes and my knees shaking, we realized we were going to be bombed. The planes flew over the city. Screams pierced the sky like a goat being chased. I looked up and saw the devil smiling coldly down at me. I sprinted from home, sweat pouring down my face. I turned around and gasped. I saw a huge mushroom cloud engulf everything. A wave of heat hit my face. Hiroshima was destroyed. Thousands were left dead to end World War II.
And last but not least, Summer Magrino.
Dream within a dream, a found poem. Nature's first green is gold, her heart is hue to hold. Yet if hope has flown away in a night or in a day, in a vision or in none, is it therefore the less gone? The sun burns crimson bright as freezing persons recollect the snow. First chill, then stupor, then the letting go. Hold fast to dreams, for if dreams die, life is a broken winged bird that cannot fly. Let us leave this place where the smoke blows black and the dark street winds and bends, and then the windows failed, and then I could not see to see. All that we see or seem is but a dream within a dream. So dawn goes down today, nothing gold can stay. In this found poem, I credit Shel Silverstein, Emily Dickinson, Edgar Allan Poe, Robert Frost, and Langston Hughes.
Wow. Okay. Next, we have Scarsdale Middle School. And I'm not sure if all the teachers are here. Frankie Hughes, Megan Roche, Rebecca Streeter. Come on up, folks.
Hi, everyone. I'm Rebecca Streeter. I'm joined by my friend and colleague, Frankie Hughes. We both teach 7th grade at Scarsdale Middle School. It's our second year representing Scarsdale Middle School at Poetry Live, and we're so proud of our students. We've, I think, doubled our participants this year from last year, and we have a couple of returning poets from last year as well, so we're really proud of all their work. Up first, we're going to hear from Sydney Berman.
The title of my poem is Milo. Brown, bulging eyes and short white hair with 2 brown spots on the fur of your back. Tall, spindly legs and a head too small for your body, but somehow you were cuter than any other dog I've ever seen. Waiting for me to get home from school and running to the door when you hear it open, flying down the stairs to see me. Sleeping outside my crib when I was a baby, barking at strangers and passerbys as if you were protecting me. I didn't notice the way the brown fur on your face started to fade to white, or the way you were starting to hobble down the stairs, or the way you didn't really bark at other dogs anymore, or the way you slept more than you usually did, until it was too late. I remember how you perked up when we said the word turkey. I remember your orange harness and matching leash. I remember how my brothers would pull your tail when they were little, and you never got angry. I remember you laying your head on my leg watching Gilmore Girls. I remember you lying on my bed when I was sick, and I remember how much you cared for me. If I could see you again, I would hug you and rub your ears and tell you how much I miss you. Ever since Mom rescued you, you were our dog, you were there before me, and you will be in our hearts forever. I love you so much, Milo. Thank you.
Next we have Athena Chu.
The title of my poem is His Song. The wind may howl, the heavens break, the earth may tremble, rivers shake, yet still you stand, undaunted, free, a force no storm could ever seize. The weight of time may press you thin, may carve its scars deep, deep beneath your skin. Yet even when the night is deep, your light is something shadows keep. For you are forged from fire and stone, a storm, a spark, a force unknown. No chain can hold, no tide can take, the quiet strength you cannot fake. So when the world would see you bow, stand taller still, you are the now.
Our next poet is Eliza Fishman.
My poem is titled Leaving. Finally felt like it'd be easy, and when the leaves start to fall from the trees, it won't be as breezy. All I know is that even the thought makes me queasy. She's not going to camp. I have to accept it. Can't reject everyone that asks me about her. Can't pretend to play happy. I really feel crappy inside. Every song I write is about my feelings. I can't just look at the ceiling and forget. If I could ever do that, I would regret that motion. Can't block off my emotions like a dam blocking off an ocean. It feels like they're going to explode and the world is ending. When she is leaving, I won't be pretending. Scared I won't cry, do I even dare to try? Will I get through, or will it pull me to the tornado? Will I lose her when I say goodbye? Will I survive? No. Or will I go psycho? Gonna be so weird. Don't know what to do when I go to her room. It's empty and clear of her stuff. Her presence is gone like a faded perfume. She's disappeared, it's so tough. If you let go of glass, it breaks. When she let go of me, I broke. My throat began to choke. I thought it would never get better, and even if it is, I'll never be okay. Not tomorrow, not today. It's the beginning of forever, and that's all I can say. Thank you.
Our next poet is Samantha Kivert.
My poem is titled Comparative Cruelty. Okay, wait. Was hers better than mine, or maybe his or theirs? I mean, mine wasn't as long, or maybe it was too long. Was it entertaining enough? Did it bore you? Am I overthinking this? Does everyone think this way? Is my voice too deep, too high? Geez, I gotta slow down like jam in a pie. So you gotta think of comparative cruelty. It makes you think like you've lost all your fluency. From academics to sports to politics or anything the world might throw at you, if you think about it, this poem does too. Comparison goes deeper than the surface, and this might seem kind of deep, but it'll make you question your life purpose. It's not as simple, like black and white, or clear as day. It's like finding a needle in a big stack of hay. Just like a needle in a big chaotic mess of horse food, the needle is your problem, and so are your thoughts too. Do your thoughts ever make you feel like you have the just a little bit inferior flu? Comparative cruelty and just a little bit inferior flu, when mixed, are a horrible stew. The meat in the stew is so raw, so harmful, you can even hear it go moo. The just a little bit inferior flu happens when you're not doing too bad, not doing too good. Someone's either doing worse or better than you. Having this mindset is perfectly normal and perfectly okay. And remember to try your best and nothing less. And what happens after that is not your price to pay. Thank you.
Next is Julie Narahashi.
The title of my poem is When the Little British Girl Was 8. She went on an adventure far, far away. She worried a lot, but this made her pale. A brush of air flew to her face as she entered the large building with many, many people inside. Blink, blink, blink. Ha! I beat you. No fair, you cheated. I did not. Mommy, Julie's cheating in a staring contest. Mom didn't even look at us, but I could hear her sighing. Come on, Juju, you know better than to cheat. But I didn't, I huffed, and started to push the great suitcase as Mom finished checking in. Unfortunately, at security, the situation didn't get any better. Mommy, I have to go pee. Yuto was squealing like a guinea pig. We had dealt with this torturous line for 20 minutes, which felt endless. Just a little longer, Yuto. I can't hold it. Well, you're going to have to. I don't want to wait. I'm going to go now. People started to look, stare, judge, side-eyeing us in disapproval. I hid myself in embarrassment. I just looked up at the ceiling for the whole time, wondering if this was ever going to be over. As I clutched my small head, a little robin was flying in the area and zoomed by, an animal that had a worry-free life. I looked back down at the floor as the line finally seemed to move. After security, buying snacks, and checking in, we got on the plane and headed somewhere where little robins couldn't quite reach. The plane ride seemed like forever until an announcement came, and a little welcome and welcome home from the speaker. I was eager to go back now. I walked sluggish, then fast, then ran, then sprinted toward what seemed like an exit. Daddy, I shouted, as I leaped toward him for a big hug. I was so happy that water droplets could spill out of my small, shiny, tiny eyes. Home was never to be permanent, because if we were meant to stay in one place, we'd have roots instead of feet. But if I were to have one regret, it would be that I couldn't hold on to each moment just a little longer before the next one swept me away. Thank you.
Our next poet is Maya Papali.
The title of my poem is The Stranger in the Mirror. Into the mirror I stare, a stranger staring back at me.
The words, I spit at it, stabbing it like knives, the pain in its eyes, tired from crying, I hate it. Its smile disappears, like mine did long ago. I scream at it, curse at it, hurt it. All the stranger does back is stare at me, blankly, and flinch every time I scream at it, curse at it, hurt it. The pain it tries to hide comes shooting out like knives from inside. I tremble, staring at the stranger I no longer recognize, and all the stranger does back is stare at me. Thank you.
Our next poet is Beatrice Schwartz.
I'm from dedication and hard work and discipline, from all work and no rest, from eating dinner and the endless car rides home from soccer practice, to epic green smoothies to kickstart the day. I'm from precision and perceptiveness, always knowing my next move, from studying into the night with no energy left in me. I'm from time on one team to time on the next, from tears staining my cheeks on the way home from a big game, to joy bursting inside of me, from a world of competition, always striving to be the best. I'm from houses locked and alarmed, the mansions in Scarsdale. I'm from the cleaning lady coming every other day, to heavenly smells filling the air and teasing my nose before dinner time. From the mom that has way too much on her hands, but still manages to get me everywhere and anywhere and be the best mom I could ever ask for, my super mom, my best friend. I am from 3 older brothers, big, strong, and sometimes scary, protecting me and wanting what's best. I am from watching big arguments happen between the family, the dinner time when everyone is doubled over laughing. I am from stars and stripes and a truly beautiful country. From reading next to the warm fire with my family, I am from Hanukkah to Passover, to the delicious smells of my grandma's brisket making my mouth water. I am from outdoor adventures with friends, to staying inside with my mom and watching a classic. I am from no junk food and only whole foods, from the Health Nut crew. From the loving touch of my mom's hand seeping into the lovely food that I am fortunate enough to eat. I have been taught politeness and kindness and always giving out compliments. I am from honesty, loyalty, and respect, from never judging a book by its cover, unless it's a book. From a world where people like to disappear in a crowd of similar personalities. I am from natural values and not superficial, from getting down and dirty, having mud all over me, clothes all stained, but in the end not really caring. I am from few very close friends and genuine relationships, from not caring what anyone thinks of me. I am from what's wrong with you to how do you have so much energy? I am from doing things with care and emotion, taking time to really think things over. From taking matters into my own hands and getting things done. I am from no procrastination and only productiveness, from every minute counts. I am from trying new things and stepping out of my comfort zone, from research and nonfiction. I am from grit and persistence. I am from music flowing through my body as I dance in the car, from beats flowing through my ears as I envision myself scoring. I'm from watching close friends slip away as quickly as a flash, from seeing others partying while I'm training. I'm from running on the field and hearing the soccer ball calling my name, to feeling the joy surge through my ball as I score a banger to win the championship, or from my ball crying after a missed penalty, or from mistake after mistake. I'm from being knocked down and getting up just as fast, from the mental game, never letting anyone or anything get to me. I am from living life day by day, from living in the present and not the past. I'm from improving myself every single day, and I am from me, myself, and I. Thank you.
Our next poet is Maya Snyder.
The title of my poem is People Like You. They say the sun rises slow, dragging the weight of yesterday's sorrow, pulling the sky into something bright, something new. But people like you rise faster than that. You wake up when the world is still dark, before the alarms, before the traffic hums, before anyone sees you. You stretch your bones, lace your shoes, carry the ghosts of your past like weights in your pockets, but you don't let them sink you. They don't write songs for the ones who keep going, the ones who grind their teeth against the storm, who swallow failure like bitter medicine and still step forward. No standing ovations for the ones who show up when they don't want to, who say, "I'm fine," when they're anything but, who love like it's their first language, and who fight battles no one else sees. But I see you. I see you in the quiet moments, in the second winds and the shaky hands, in the days you don't think you'll make it through, but you do. So let this be your anthem, your standing ovation, your proof that someone noticed. Because you are unstoppable. And the world keeps spinning because people like you keep pushing it forward. Thank you.
Our next poet is Uma Srinivasan.
The title of my poem is A Usual New York City Day. A mound of yellow peeking out above the Statue of Liberty reflects upon the glittering waters and creates a color with a mix of pink, red, and orange, visually pleasing to the eye. Lady Liberty announces that a new day is born, and soon all people go about their busy lives. A little yellow taxi cab scurries down the road, and a beep from a car wakes the people of a nearby building. Hot dog, pretzel, and burrito stands open, creating pungent smells with mouth-watering impacts. Soon the streets are filled with noisy cars, cabs, and pedestrians, some scampering to work, and others rushing to get a glimpse of the Statue of Liberty. A dog close by finds a large pizza box, letting out an irresistible smell, that the dog pulls it open and gobbles up the slices in great relish. You hear a honk, then a beep, but most of all, you hear the thousands of voices speaking more than 200 languages, all blending together to create such a lively harmony. Noon rolls around and restaurants fill up, igniting hunger in others that roll by. The cheeses from Italian food, dumplings from Chinese food, the spices from Indian food, and the enchiladas from Mexican food, creating cultural food diversity that pleases customers to the end. As you walk past 75 Rockefeller Center, you see young girls patiently waiting in line to buy an American Girl doll, clutching their mother's hand with excitement. A horse neighs and pulls a carriage with two young tourists near Central Park, where young kids climb the big boulders, joggers run down a trail, and some of the public happily munches on pretzels from a nearby stand. Down West 53rd Street, teens, kids, and adults explore the history behind the wonderful pieces in the Metropolitan Museum of Art, some trying to recreate it, others gazing at it, soaking it all in. The Empire State Building, 102 stories tall, steel-framed, looms over a crowd, creating a humongous shadow. Next stop is Grand Central Station, a center of transportation, with people bustling around trying to catch their trains, while others are dumbstruck, gazing up at the wondrous ceiling. Macy's department store soaks up all the attention of shoppers with its huge red sign, the world's largest department store. With every twist and turn you take, a mannequin appears before you, convincing you to buy the outfit. Night falls and people are still bustling around, buying last-minute items or bursting with adrenaline from the day they have had. Past the sea glass carousel, Lady Liberty watches over her very well-awake, bright-lit city. New York City, she softly thinks, the city that never sleeps. Thank you.
Our next poem is an adaptation from The Wizard of Oz, and our poet is Jessica Zhu.
The title of my poem is Land of Oz. "Get inside the cellar," Uncle Henry exclaimed, as the towering charcoal-colored clouds rolled upon them. Aunt Em jumped into the cellar while Dorothy chased after Toto. Suddenly, the winds hollered, and Dorothy found herself in clouds of mist. The house groaned as it tipped to one side and whirled around. Dorothy didn't know that she was in the middle of a cyclone, but gradually the winds hushed and everything quieted down. the little girl began to slowly drift into sleep. There was a thud, a sudden thud. Dorothy, now wide awake, looked out the window. What is this place? This must be a dream. Dorothy clapped her hands. Outside the house was a never-ending land of lush green and beautiful streams, which trickled into waterfalls down the mountains, luscious fruit growing on trees. And the Munchkins clapped their hands in awe to see. A house landed out of the blue. Who must this be? They murmured to each other. Dorothy, curious, opened the door and gasped at the sight of these men and women. They were all approximately the same height as herself. But unlike her, they were as old as Uncle Henry, and they bowed towards her. A little old woman wearing a shimmering diamond gown walked towards Dorothy. My dear sorceress, we thank you very much for setting free the Munchkins from the Wicked Witch of the East. We are grateful for you having killed her. Wait, what? Where am I? Who are you? Who's the Wicked Witch of the East? Why am I here? Why are you here? My dear, you are in the land of the Munchkins in Oz. She nodded towards the little people, the Munchkins. I am the Witch of the North. You dropped down from the sky, and we came because you killed the Wicked Witch of the East, replied the little old woman, who was the Witch of the North. Dorothy gasped. Oh dear, how can this be? Dorothy paced around back and forth, frightened by the fact that she had just killed someone, a witch whom she had never seen. Take the mysteriously magical silver shoes from the Wicked Witch's feet, the Witch of the North said. Promptly, Dorothy took off the shoes and the feet disappeared entirely, having dried up in the sun. She wouldn't know that these shoes had an immense power. The witch had explained to her the vital information. There is one wicked witch left to kill, and to return home, you must journey to the Emerald City and find the Wizard of Oz. Thank you.
Our final poet is Kara Yu.
The title of my poem is called None of Those. As I looked at my phone late at night, it suddenly shut down, causing a bit of fright. When I grabbed the charger to start it up again, I thought my bright wallpaper would shine at me back, with messages and ringtones for calls rushing towards me like a quick slap. What only stared back at me was a reflection in the dark screen showing a young girl with bright, inspired eyes as lovely as freshwater pearls. She didn't say anything to me, not an insult, compliment, or question. There was only a monotonous look on her face that had no expression. Though she was as emotionless as could be, I sensed a feeling coming both within her and me. That feeling was a surge of disappointment and confusion, coming from the part that this girl wanted me to be a singer or a famous pianist. I was none of those, not a lover, ambassador, or a sopranist. But when the blinding light from my phone flickered back on, the thoughts of that girl flooded my head until it was dawn. I searched up what I saw myself with this hallucination. The only result was that it was hope, a guidance from my younger self holding me yesterday as a rope. Thank you.
Wow. So do you think on Spotify they have a category that's moving off stage and back on stage music? I don't know. But it seems like it's the same music from last year. All right, here we go. We're going to listen to Hommick's middle school students and their teachers, Lisa Ramos Hilligers, I apologize if it's wrong, Lorraine McCurdy-Little, and Karen Kane. Come on up, guys.
Hi, I'm Karen Kane, and I'm a sixth grade teacher at Hommick's Middle School. Happy to be here with you this afternoon. Our first reader is Owen Vest.
The title of my poem is Not Forgotten. The plane shrieks through the air. Shards of metal fly in the thick smoke. I run from the towering towers, my nose stuffed with dirty air. Fear shoots me in the eye. Each breath feels like a million bees stinging. The South Tower falls, bringing a wave of dust and debris. Giant fireballs surround the tower. The heat burns and scratches my skin. The sight is dreadful. In Manhattan, 2001. The gaping hole puts a hold in the city and in my heart. The terror trapped inside me. Outside normal, inside dead. The construction on the memorial only reminded me of the unbearable pain on that frightful day. Past us, but not forgotten. In Manhattan, 2005. 20 years later, after the smoke spread, everything's different. No longer is there a gaping hole. Now two pools and a tower take its place. But the pain is stuck in my heart. I look up at the empty sky and imagine the towers are still standing tall. The horrors on 9/11 will never be forgotten. In Manhattan, 2025.
Our next poet reader is Emma Regardi.
The name of my poem is called Seabirds. Gracefully diving into the deep, deep sea, sailing the ocean blue, our wingtips touch the sky and the sea. Flying in circles over the deep, deep sea, waiting in the low tide, soaring over the people of the sea. Our eyes skim the surface of the deep, deep sea, looking down at the swarm of umbrellas below as they look onto the sea. The waves on the beach of the deep, deep sea come crashing down on the border of our sea. The wind howls with great force over the deep, deep sea, pushing and pulling everything under into our sea. The freezing waters of the deep, deep sea hold fish to catch and bring out of the sea. The leaping fish of the deep, deep sea are what roams our vast and beautiful sea. When out on the boats of the deep, deep sea, we are shooed away by the people of the sea. The sun that lays over the deep, deep sea is what brings the warmth to the bottom of the sea. When the ice from afar floods the deep, deep sea, we search for a place out on the open waters of the sea. The seabirds watch the change of the deep, deep sea. They see much change to the waters of the deep, deep sea. Thank you.
Our next poet is Gigi Malay.
The title of my poem is called Promise. I'm waist deep in murky water, my head pounding with fear. I need to get to the border. I need to be free. Many have tried, many have failed, but that won't happen to me. I lost my parents long ago. Border control took them the first time I tried to cross. I know this is legal, but I also know they're alive. Now it's just me and Emily. We have carried fear together. We have suffered together, and will not waste it. I trudge to the water, my body aching, and then I see it, a daffodil on the riverbank. Where I come from, it means hope. I drag Emily onto the shore. We find a hole in the fence, small, sharp-edged, but wide enough for a dream. Thank you.
Our next poet is James Castiglione.
My poem is called Nature is Two-Faced. Nature is two-faced, like every animal, like everything. It is both beautiful and deadly. Roses, the beautiful red plant, a symbol of love, has a thorn that could leave you bleeding. Water, the life bringer. Everything in nature needs it, but when you least expect it, it comes rushing in, a great wave of destruction. Wind, the ever-breathing force, never stopped, never started. It blows endlessly, but soon it forms great swirls that rip lives from the ground and tosses them above. Snow, the shining, shimmering stars. It falls inevitably every year, bringing a tide of white and a biting cold that some will not survive. Two-faced nature, the beauty, the reaper, always flowering, always looming. Nature is two-faced.
Our next poem is Sam Clifford.
title of my poem is My Grandfather. My grandfather is as patient as a blossoming flower.
Just hold it. Start again.
The title of my poem is called My Grandfather. My grandfather is as patient as a blossoming flower at his self-made house. My grandfather, his architecture is as elegant as the sunset at his self-made house. My grandfather, his ideas floating like the Housatonic at his self-made house. My grandfather is an articulate man. His words are descriptive and alive. I love him so. Thank you.
Our next poet is Sienna Rosal.
My poem is called How to Be a Musician. Hum a jig without an end. Clench the microphone like it's gold. Let beats seep into your skin and lift your spirits high. Express yourself. Let your thoughts turn into ideas. Let your ideas develop into feelings. Welcome your feelings through that secret portal in your heart. You know it's there. Create a beat, a melody, you've done it. You've made a song. Let every note inspire you further and further, so far that you could barely picture yourself without these oh-so-sweet harmonies. Feed your heart with crisp beats and soothing memories. Feel it flourish and never, don't ever let it starve.
Our next poet is Eliana Baum.
Suicide rates in the U.S. have skyrocketed for teens and adults. In 2022, 13.2 million people seriously thought about suicide, and 1.6 million people went through with it. Emergence by Eliana Baum. She sits, listens. She replays it all. The teasing, the taunting. It feels like a test. Failing could mean the end. Passing could mean receiving peace. Suddenly, she is pulled under crashing waves into water she never learned to swim in. Thoughts pulled her deeper into a lonely abyss. All was dark, or so it seemed. She was so desperate to reach the surface she didn't notice the glint of light, even though it was right in front of her. Fear struck like lightning. She needed to get out. She couldn't breathe. She was stuck in a box, trapped. Shh, the voice soothed, calming her thoughts. Turn. Open your eyes. But she circled back to the teasing and was pushed further down. The pressure was too much. Shh. The voice said again, tone rising, they need you. Go. So she slowly started to rise. She blinked. That was all it took. A simple change of perspective, one thought, and she shot up. She broke the surface, the waves. She rose above the weight of the water, tore apart the chains. She is saved and finally free.
Our next poet is Ruby Kaufman.
A City of Secrets by Ruby Kaufman. A city buried under rock, stone, bone. A cave uncovered. Secrets carved in clear sight. Bridges, towers, a city. Peculiar people listen to the sounds of animals, humans up above. Glowing lights in a tangle of stone and shadow. Embered ghosts whisper to the wind, passing secrets of life and living.
Our next reader is Evan Nelson.
Untitled Poem by Evan Nelson. That rainy day, with the thunder crackling, harmonizing with the fire, Grandpa finally told his story. His voice rumbled as he sat back in his weathered leather recliner and began. As the storm rumbled, he told of the muddied ground where his best friend lay, his only friend, the same friend that he met 12 years before, when they were both dirt-broke boys living on the cobblestone streets of the city where they joined the army, the city where all they knew was heartbreak and alleyways, the city where they laughed together and cried together and were always, always together. Grandpa told of his friend's last wish, his friend's wish for him, his friend's wish for my grandpa to go to America, to make himself the living they never had. Grandpa told of the cold, damp baggage hold and the ships creaking and groaning while he stowed away. He took nothing but the clothes on his back. They were all he had to bring. His most prized possessions, his memories of Charlie, his friend who should have been there in the cramped baggage hold with him right then, instead of lying broken in a battlefield, barbed wire and trenches and mud surrounding him. Grandpa told of being found by a sailor when the baggage was being unloaded, and how he ran like a maniac out of the docks and into the bustling city of New York, where he was going to find himself a home and a living. Grandpa told of how he found a fallen pigeon nest, with all of the eggs broken but one, and the winter nights that he spent ripping up his warm, weather-worn army jacket to weave a home for the poor bird. Grandpa told of the bitter wind whipping, chilling him to the bone, while he kept the fledgling safe and warm in a nest made of leather jacket and hope. Grandpa told of the storm that never stopped, the storm of endless lightning and thunder and snow, drifts piling high around the alley, blocking him and his avian companion in. And Grandpa told of the day where all seemed hopeless. The snow too high, the cobble too cold, no food left in the alley that he had come to hate. And then, how a light came on in the abandoned building next to him, the new owner's weathered, kind face poking out a window, offering a kid on the streets a life, a home, and a second chance at the world.
Our next reader is Thea Yolen.
My poem is titled No Tears Left. Her sneakers brushed the dirty gray floor. Her puffy red eyes searched, desperately trying to find a seat. She spotted a bench big enough for three, but for her, just enough for her bags. Kayla leaned against the cracked glass window, tears streaming down her face, fingers fidgeting, chin quivering. The train car was cramped and dark, rattling all the way down. She didn't mind. She barely even noticed. After 12 hours of sobbing, the train pulled into Grand Central. It was almost midnight when she stepped out and breathed the humid air. She trudged down the crowded streets, bums begging for money, drunks cackling, catcalling, street vendors selling undercut hot dogs and deep-fried peanuts. She spotted a cafe squished between buildings and ducked inside. It was empty but warm. The light flickered, the hum of a refrigerator breaking the silence. A small bell rested on the counter. She gave it a quick tap. The voice that answered was soft, like someone from a storybook. "What can I do for you, dear?" "Just a coffee, please." Of course. The drink was warm and creamy, but when she stepped back outside, the cold air made her face sting. She darted through the streets, her legs aching, heart thumping, body shivering. After what felt like forever, she reached her destination. A cracking gray building, vines stretching over every inch, soon to be her new home. A gruff-looking man stood in the shadows, a cigar in his mouth. "You Kayla Davis?" His tone was nastier than his face. "Yes, sir," she squeaked. "Here's the key, $200 a month." She fumbled with the key, eventually dropping it. 200, more than he'd said before. She opened the door, and it emitted a loud creak. She stepped inside, threw her bags in a corner, and collapsed onto the old, stained mattress. It erupted into dust, likely infested with bugs, but she couldn't bring herself to care. Kayla tried to cry, but no tears came. There was nothing left to pour out. How could she go on? No family, no money, no tears. She tried not to think too far ahead, as sleep pulled her under, into pitch black darkness, a feeling she hadn't known in weeks.
Our next reader is Emily Miranda Lopez.
My title is Powerful Words. Words, they sting, they bloom. They're powerful, deep, caring, strong. They're feelings, enchanting, they're in you, around you, everywhere. They're aggressive, amazing, ancient. They're bad, they're good. They're loving, they're hating. They're loud, they're quiet. They hurt, they're demanding. They're words. Use them carefully. You never know how they may affect someone.
Our next reader is Maya Bialer.
My poem is titled Dear Winter. I hate the way the cold seeps through my bones, the blanket of gloom that cloaks me to the core. Bleak trees lose themselves, and you hear their groans, the lack of song as birds leave out the door. I hate the chill that hollows out the earth, a shadow like an echo it trails me. How sunlight seems quite dull, devoid of mirth, a mere 9 hours of light, dark short of glee. I hate the sickness that spreads like a crime, stuck indoors, trapped within, with walls too old. Your cruel cold fist chokes me before your time. I just think you'll never loosen your hold, yet my frostbitten toes begin to fall, and the first bud of spring shoots with no flaw.
Our next reader is Charlotte Romita.
Hello. The name of my poem is Building Columns as We March. How would we live on this earth if we all reached out our arms a little more? The Constitution laid out the means of justice filing through one door. 27 established ways, we learned the rules. But what truly makes them this country, our country's crown jewels? If we reached out for the same objective together, we can conquer it. Bound together under one goal, we will never split. Not just I, but rather we. One union, but still free. Of course, with every beam of light, there is one of dark. But together we can make the world a little more bright. Thank you so much.
Our next reader is Our next reader is Violet Widboon.
My poem is called Trails of Light. I hold the rail of a steamship packed with wandering souls. I hold on for fear I might not prevail on this harrowing journey filled with holes. Salt dances across my tongue, waves roll off my ears, rain opens my eyes. The dark sea behind, the dark sea ahead. People to my right, people to my left. I feel like a snowflake, small and delicate, wandering every which way, waiting to reach an unknown day. I miss my home and the bright sky. I miss the streets filled with familiar eyes. I miss my brother, whose features already slip from view in the safe that is my mind. But what I remember is false, a paradise created from the trails of light in my veiled mind. The gunshots, strange men, marched past the door painted red, red like the blood that was spilled, red like the tomatoes we grew, red like the American flag, red like the love my mother had. Memory swallowed by the journey on the boat painted blue, blue like the tears that stained my face, blue like the ocean surrounding all sides, blue like the American flag, blue like the eyes of my brother. Such sorrow haunts so many, heroes of lore pushed into life, unwillingly willing, leaving gilded comfort for that of hardship and strife. I must abandon tainted memories in which my heart swims. I must leave centuries of death and despair where smiles of gold are rare. I believe in something greater, a life filled with joy instead of fear. So I must embark on this quest to lead myself to a life full of wonder instead of unrest.
And last but not least is Casey Neenan.
My poem is called In This Heart, an imitation of In This Place by Amanda Gorman. In this heart, there's a path that few choose to take. Down the hall, there's rooms that few dare to enter. There are couches and snakes and many, many weapons. There are hostages being held in the quiet wake. In this heart, there are soldiers fighting for their lives. In this heart, they are mere children, forced to take part. In this heart, there are people fighting for each step, each breath, each whisper. In this heart, land is trying to be reclaimed, dictators, presidents fighting to be heard. In this heart, millions lost their lives because no one can accept that something isn't theirs. In this heart, there are terrorists trying to make a point. At what cost? In this heart, there used to be freedom and peace. In this heart, greed starts to take over until you forget what you wanted in the first place. In this heart, there are elections trying to save us, but we already lost. In this heart, one stands alone with a new president threatening to ruin us all. In this heart, there is a place people look to for freedom, only to have someone kick them out. In this heart, there is an utter silence until violence breaks out. Thank you.
We got the big kids. Big kids coming up. Okay. Mamaroneck, Scarsdale, and Hommocks Middle School. Bravo. Okay, I said the big kids and I mean it. Now we're going to have Westlake High School and their teacher, Chris DiPolito. Are you here? Come on up.
Hi. We're happy to be here again. These are 8 wonderful students from my Semester 1 creative writing class. And like I said, we're very happy to be here. Westlake's first poet is Maya Abatantuono.
My poem is titled The Artwork of Pizza. My heart glows as I enter the kitchen. A familiar smell awaits me at the table, and so does she. I see the art supplies at the counter, spoons and bowls ready to create magic. The rolling pin is laid out as a thick paintbrush for dough shaped like a heart. She grabs a spoon with grace and paints streaks of red along the canvas. The dangers of the cheese grater are concealed by her wondrous passion. She smiles at me while she coats her painting with a crumbly white finish. Sprinkles of love and spices are dispersed, the final touches of the masterpiece. Wafts of warmth enter the room as the painting cooks in the oven. Patience is a necessary color for her masterpiece until ding, a craft cools on the countertop while the recipe is displayed in her heart as I wait for it to be passed down to me. Thank you.
Our next poet is Alina Abraham.
The title of my poem is India, My Home. The land of diversity, a land of many dialects, many mother tongues, different cultures practiced, destined to be unique. Said to have looked like Eden, God's own country is its name. Vibrant blue waters and canals, filled with boats, leafy green trees grouped together, the wind singing in peace. The land of spices, turmeric, cardamom, paprika, and more. Spices used in everything, even cinnamon and chai. Spices, they're a part of me. What is this foreign land? Her name is India, my Amma.
Next is Izzy Cohen.
My poem is titled Rebirth. I am from love and blood, from my friends' open arms and the blades that cut them. I am from loud voices and soft words, from loving hate. I'm from expired makeup, from the pimples on my face and the glitter in my eyes and the mascara from last night. I'm from my abused brushes, covered in germs, of those who trusted me with their delicate skin. I am from mediocre art, from lazy singing and cramped cut fingers. I am from merged bodies, from my shirt hugging their waist and their lipstick in my purse. I'm from, can I have a sip of your drink? Come with me to the bathroom. Do you have a skirt I can borrow? Will you do my makeup? I need somewhere to stay. Of course, I am always here for you. I am from warm skin, from bodies touching bodies, my heavy skull against their chest and their arms around my back. I'm from their rough hands against the piano keys and my soft voice fighting to be heard. I am a monster created from the flesh of those I love. Thank you.
Next is Elise Hurtis.
The title of my poem is Lifeblood. I'm from childhood nosebleeds, drip, drip, dripping onto my brand new dress, waking me up in the middle of the night. I'm from the shame of holding my cupped hand to my nose, blood pooling, spilling over, blindly searching for the light switch in the dark. I'm from bloodied hands, knuckled white and red and raw, hands loved to death, worked to death by carving blades and writer's calluses. I am from stinging, burning, bleeding feet, falling on my hands and knees and bruising my pride, singing to distract from the pain of hydrogen peroxide. I'm from the blood of clenching my fists so hard that my nails dug crescent-shaped, crimson-colored, unspoken screams into my palms. I'm from drooping, tired, bloodshot eyes, tear-stained cheeks, and designer eye bags. My sleep schedule that I ruined just for a stupid grade, promises I taped open just to stay awake. I'm from the blood that I begged for, cried to my mom to let me shave my legs. I pleaded to feel beautiful, but I nicked my skin so many times, cutting myself and scraping myself and hurting myself and hating myself. I'm also from the blood that I was warned of, yet still surprised me. The blood that is normal, mija, but scared me, matured me, and grew me up right there. The blood that warned me, it is time to stop fooling around. Thank you.
Next is Amelia Pintavel.
My poem is called Orchids. White petals that fluttered like a dove's wing, pink buds that slowly opened after a long slumber, roots that peeked out in embarrassment, and the small stone vase they sat in. The orchids swayed in the breeze, moving in a synchronized dance as each gust flowed through them, pulling them toward me like they were attracted by some force that I could not see. Their fragrance was intoxicating, sweet like an innocent child, soft like the summer wind, shy like the rising sun, special like a beloved memory. I cradled one in my hand, careful not to damage its delicate beauty. One petal slowly fell from it, abandoning the others that stood by it, falling like a tear to the ground. Slowly the petal rose with the breeze, escaping through the window into the world beyond, though I was uncertain if it would ever return again. And as I watched it disappear into the distance, I hoped with all of my heart that unlike that petal, you would eventually come home to me. Thank you.
Next is Sean Samoyedny.
My poem is called The Yellow Swing Set. 2 trees sat firm in the yard, identical in every way, towering pines with large sweeping branches that in the wind would bob and sway. The 2 thrived that way for decades and decades, until the couple who owned the house got old. They wished to retire in a new development, and in a month's time, the house was sold. Sold to a young family from the city, with a spotted dog and a small boy. And for his birthday that same year, the child was given a big toy. A yellow swing set with monkey bars atop, to be assembled by his father so the boy could play. But he couldn't yet, as the yard was much too small, and the tree on the left was in the way. Men in orange jackets came in a crane, and in a week, the tree on the left was gone. The yellow swing set was built and placed above a raised, barren lump in the lawn. As the years wore on and the other tree began to change, The branches grew bald, and its bark withered dry. It rattled in the wind, and in the rain seemed to cry. As the years wore on, the tree began to die. The family took notice of the tree's demise, so they set it to be taken down the next week. But unbeknownst to them, in addition to the tree's grim look, its roots had grown rather weak. It stormed the night of a hard, unforgiving storm, with harsh wind and the sharp spit of rain, and the tree, killed by the death of its brother, thrashed furious in the wind, its trunk started to strain. And with a deafening crack, a splintering rip, the tall, dead tree began to tip. In the morning, the tree stood no longer. Its stump sat frayed like a shattered bone. As for the rest of the tree, carried by the wind, shot right through the family's home. Thank you.
Next is Maddie Sargent.
My poem is titled An Unmatched Cost. The lush, gorgeous scent of the colorful combination held together by the pink ribbon and card, wrapped in paper with the cute white tie in front. The sweet, fresh buds complemented the air, gracing the world around it. The light magenta petals cast a loving hue across the room and brought a feeling of comfort from a gift of $2, but still priceless. The joy in my heart outweighed whatever penny the petals held. Thank you.
Our final poet is Connor Smith.
My poem is titled Pains. It's an abecedarian poem. Agony, the only feeling in my body, crushing my spirit, deteriorating my soul. I long to find ecstasy, but fail to find any good. My heart is a Grinch, no happiness inside. I judge others, and I don't know myself. I'm lost in a sea of melancholy and confusion. Never will I take an opportunity, for my confidence is in pieces. I don't ask questions, I don't ask for help. Right is wrong and sadness is right. Maybe I miss my mother's touch. Maybe I miss her utter vibrance. Maybe I miss the packed lunches with X's and O's signed in her name. Or maybe I just miss my youth, and I'm grieving those zestful times. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Westlake. So now we have Mamaroneck High School. Ooh, long list of teachers. I don't know who's here, but if you're here, Darren Bosch, Anthony Espinoza, Maria Fairbairn, Mary Beth Jordan, Julie Miller, Christine Prezioso, Jennifer Spellman, and Juliana Zalone.
We'll do that. I think we're going to do the pass the mic too. I'm Maria Fairbairn, and there are only 3 of us here today. We have representatives from 9th through 12th grade. So our first is Carl Albano.
All right. I'm Carl Albano. This is Haunt. I'm sorry I'm late to work today. I had to speak with a ghost. While I was crossing over the bridge today, I think you know the one. At dawn, you can see the city skyline silhouetted on the sun. It's close enough to claim and far away enough to shelter from, just the right distance away from a city to live. It was humid and foggy when I met the ghost, visibility of 50 meters at most. The type of deep fog that disfigures and warps. I couldn't see my own hands, much less the corpse. He seemed to see me, though, as I met his gaze, bloodshot, glassed over, empty and strange. "Good morning," he said, and after a beat, "What's up with you, buddy? Too stunned to speak? Don't tell me that you've never seen a dead man." The answer was no, I couldn't understand. "Oh, you don't understand? Then ask me a question." Looking into his eyes, I could see my reflection, windows to a soul long undearly departed. I took pity on him, and so then I started to speak with him. "Dead man, why are you here? Have you ever heard ghost stories? Isn't it clear? I come here to haunt you. You've something to learn." "Why do you choose to haunt me?" I whispered back, concerned. "Because you know me, though you don't know you do." That was 48,202 of the number that lurked in the paper this morning. The collateral of war under label of foreign. These horrors exist, though they may not round here. You've never known violence, never known fear. You don't know the stench of flesh rot in the air. So I hope that I haunt you, your thoughts and your prayers. The blood diamonds that layer your Shinola watch, and that well-tailored suit, how class, how top-notch. Consider the small hands who harvest the cotton. Their dead futures haunt you, atrophied and rotten. You're a bona fide vampire, cruel hypocrite, and I know what you're thinking. When will he just quit? I wish I could, but you yourself brought me here. I'm the manifestation of that deepest fear, of those you ignored rising above your station, that they may one day condemn you to damnation, that each cry you've ignored could become an infraction. I'm your inherent opposite, equal reaction. When compassion collapses, what have you to say for it? Be haunted, it's the least you can offer to pay for it. You've heard so much from me, I have a question for you. I've been dead for a couple of months, so what's new? Not much has changed as far as I'm concerned. The sun's in the sky and the planet still turns, and I work for myself. You've no right to my life. It isn't my fault that your country had strife, or a war, or the plague, or a flood, I don't know. It's only, well, the way that things go. If you're truly content with the world that you know, if there's nothing as strong as your dear status quo, then praise be to the free market's devices. I pray that I lowered your grocery prices. No, the vampire empire's feeding on you. You'll look just like me when your haunting is through. And so he, just like that, with the mist, disappeared. Being haunted was hardly as bad as I'd feared. As the fog shroud had lifted, it let in some light. In hindsight, the ghost had been somewhat polite. His blood didn't splatter, my jacket was clean, but my Shinola watch read 11:13. I realized too late I was late to come in, and I'm so sorry, boss. It won't happen again. Thank you.
Next up is Gabby Azoulay.
My poem is called When Love Bleeds. Roses, beautiful and kind until you get too close. Your finger may be pricked, and that small nick will taint a rose so sweet, blood smeared across the soft velvet petals in an eerily undetectable way. They're not so different, you know, loving and loathing. They camouflage within one another, marbled together like a flooded painting, the colors dripping and melting so that you can't decipher the origin of the masterpiece. A canvas scorned, a heart splattered. What are we now? Thank you.
Shaila Bimani.
My poem is called Bones. I like my bones, they stick out, they show, but they get cold, through thin my skin is snow. It's dry and cracked and scarred and bruised. I like my bones, my skin is used. It bears the winter, it hollows in shape, my skin is stuck, my bones remain. I think if tight were tense enough, I'd squeeze and stretch and tear and rust, and all would see my bones, my core. They'd have to know who I am, who I've stored. So I like my bones, and where I don't, I shave them down, I carve the stone. I build a house for my heart to hold, myself, my castle, built of bones. Thank you.
Isabella Bigatau.
Three years. Year zero. You're gone. Thank goodness. But when you left, you took my secureness. I don't remember much from that time, nor the exact actions of your crime, though you left with barely a slap on the wrist, and I had to deal and coexist. I'm not mad, I'm just scared. What you have done has left me impaired. Why do I suffer for your actions, your crime, your interactions? Like I said, I'm not mad, I'm just scared. Now when I walk somewhere, I look behind me, everywhere. Year one. Why are you still here? Not here, but in my mind, where you sit and bide. It's hard to focus. When I walk outside, I feel you close behind. No matter where I am, I find you are always on my mind. In class, in the halls, my mind is in a bind. I want to hate you, but I don't. I'm not mad, I'm just scared all the time. Year two. Why did I think this would be gone in a blink? Why did I think it would shrink? And why does this feeling sink deep down? I saw your face, my heart jumped in my chest. I'd forgotten what you looked like, I want to forget the rest. At least I think I saw your face, half of it was covered. But I could swear those are your eyes, round and big in size. I couldn't focus all day, and at night I was scared to go to bed, because I knew in that dark, dead silence, I wouldn't be able to get you out of my head. No matter what I tried, when I closed my eyes, I saw your face, and I never forgot it again. Year 3. I never forgot it again, and even after 3 years in my head you remain, to this day, no matter what age. Will you always be so near, the footsteps that lurk by my ears, or haunt me in my dreams at night, that steal all my focus while in the light? Will you ever go away, or will you bleed me dry in order to stay? Maybe in time this'll heal, maybe 3 more years, and I won't have to deal.
So we have Autumn Carino, who is fourth year time? Fourth. Here you go.
This poem is called Tell 'em. Who's gonna tell 'em that the nation in which we are stationed still has flaws? Tell 'em that in order for America to be good as is, we must let go of what was. Truth be told, our country has an unseen bloodstream of crushed dreams preached with gleam, and with false esteem we can't call it land of the free, or pledge allegiance to a nation that has yet to be flushed clean from a reoccurring theme, honoring something dishonorable as a prejudiced regime. Who is gonna tell 'em that just because you don't see the chains doesn't mean they're broken? Tell them that from the chains will this country be set free only when the truth is spoken, when concealed darkness is brought to light, and selective blindness becomes elected sight. Who is black is treated no differently from who is white, and racism that is wrong turns into unity that is right. Who is gonna tell them that the country we are seeking to become only will we be when we remain still with the honesty we've been running away from? Like the honesty of all the bloodshed stemming from white supremacy. Marcellus Williams was one of millions with an unfulfilled destiny. The honesty that when it comes to black people, all humanity is forgot. After Emmett Till was killed, he wasn't sent home in a casket, but thrown in a pine box. So the honesty of an officer with sugar-coated slaughter. Sonia Massey lost her life because she held a pot of water. The honesty that our nation doesn't seem to share a care, and if it did, they never would have sat George Stinney Jr. in an electric chair. Who is gonna tell him? Listen up, I'll tell you who. The destination of our nation depends on me and depends on you. Whether you're black or white, it doesn't matter, we all bleed the same. And if the country were on fire, we'd all be a part of the same flame. We are gonna tell them that there is you and I in unity, and who we've been cannot compare to who we are set out to be. But before that, we must tell them we are no longer buying the lies this country is selling, because a story with missing narratives is not a story worth telling. So we're gonna tell them. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Christine Prezioso. Our next poet is Nayara Dykes.
The title of my poem is Society. We wear a mask to hide our face, following each other as if it were a trace. All in all, we follow the latest trends as if it were a race. But the outsiders stay in the shadows outplaced, their masks shatter, showing their poker face. Now after the long, the feeling of rejection overtakes. After all, we are still human, and the feeling of rejection aches. In this society, we are just a bunch of snakes, slithering around, following our leaders for uptakes. We are eating what they are feeding as we just take. But what we need to do is be awake. Thank you.
Next up is Chloe Glazer.
So this is a simile in the sky. I tell people that it's hard to describe. Every second feels precious, something neatly stored in a shimmering metal capsule for my consumption, later to be slipped between fluttering pages in green or blue. Someone pulls down the veil and it collects on the floor, dappling into rivers and heaps of earth with pennants of water and crowns of ice. I tell people that it's different from driving. It's without the monotone and the torrent of silence that spills through the speakers. My chest doesn't eat into itself after being unable to lunge past mirrored lights. I tell people that time is swept away and no longer teeters at the edge of my vision. Everything I know is at once defunct and drastically important. Like the swirls of carpet beneath my childhood fingers, like the stars and Legos and smiles and light. I tell people that it feels like flying.
Our next poet is Alexandra Kasanoff.
My poem is titled Clear or Blurry, Only One Way to See. When I look back on everything that's happened in my life, it's kind of a blur, but I think I choose for it to be kind of a blur. I know that I've grown into a smart and brave teenage girl, but I choose to ignore what made me that way. I have great friends and amazing bonds, but I don't think about the struggle I went to get to this point. I'm so appreciative of the life that I live and the privileges that I have, but I always choose to forget about the life that I used to live and the privileges that I didn't have. I have a very supportive family, and the love that they give me could fill an entire room. But then again, the household that I grew up in, I would never wish that on anyone else. I'm just a normal 15-year-old teenage girl with nothing to complain about, but no one sees the abnormal little girl that was practically trapped years ago. I know that my past is what created the person that I am today, and grateful isn't the right word to explain how I feel, but neither is ungrateful. I just accept that the past is the past, and now is the now, even if that means it's all kind of a blur.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jennifer Spellman. Next up is Emma Kavaya.
Loneliness. Me and my loneliness sit at a table to eat dinner, and we both stare at my empty plate as my stomach grumbles. To prepare myself for loneliness, I wipe my tears and cover myself with laughter, and it smiles, obviously amused. Uncontrollably, I turn to look away and turn to anyone who would care to look back, as loneliness shakes the table, grabs my face, and makes me look at it. My face aches from its touch, and I cannot bear it another moment, for my eyes burn. Not because it is too bright, but because it is too dark. Look at me. Don't look at them. Look at me. The people that once surrounded us disappear as I play with my empty plate. I lose my appetite, but I do not want to stand up. I don't want to keep it waiting, and I don't want to leave. I look down and realize that my heart has been removed from my chest as my blood drags along the white lace sheets of the table. And I look ahead to witness loneliness eating my heart. It swallows every bite it takes of me and savors it like it will never run out. May I have some? Have my leftovers, it says as it wipes its mouth. Loneliness reaches its hand out to me. You won't ever stop meeting me every night, will you? Even if I end up eating your eyes so you can no longer see me. Are you not already satisfied with my heart? I say. Are you? Loneliness replies. Thank you.
Next up, we have Anuli Marie McPherson.
My poem is called Clouds Up. My thoughts are entities that hang above my head like clouds crowding the sky on a rainy day. I line the shore with footsteps. Each one is heavy and unforgiving, one after the other, lighter with each step. My soul is floating about. It comes to a stop and hangs above me. She hangs brightly, like the one star I can see in the midnight sky. My eyelids drop. The ocean hugs me tightly. Your kiss is a bud of light. It shines unconditionally, uninterrupted by the destructive nature of darkness. I owe you an apology. My heart beats for you, yet my mind is my mind. How long does it take for a star to die? Colors change by the shade and tone in song, deep blue and everlasting like the reflection of the sky on the sea. It chokes me like a lingering scent of perfume and soaks up all the air around me, tapping on the window as our sweet song plays. Day by day, colors change. My tide, my time, it attracts me, shiny and new.
Next up, we have Eden Polson.
My poem is called Test. Bones crackling, skin tightening, destruction all around. Despite the shaking, despite the breaking, your eyes only roll down to the waves which crash like the devil, your ever-compressing ocean. Sharks and crabs and whales and trout all swim to the source of motion. The water outside is draining. The desert outside is dreadful. Bones decay here and there. Toxicity grows in the air. Skin and bones, but even the skin is shrinking. And even the bones are too. The fish just sit and dreadfully wait for their little pond to lose its blue. Please, someone come, save the earth. Someone come plant seeds into its drought. Grow the flowers and greens that once beautifully bloomed when your eyes looked up from the blue. Love more than your corpse. Love you.
Okay, and rounding out Mamaroneck High School is James Schultz.
My poem is called The Man Inside My Head. Thank you to the man inside my head for comforting me when no one else can, for making me feel like someone worth saving, for being there no matter what else is stirring inside. Thank you to the man inside my brain for giving me space to be insane, for letting me cry in my head because I can't anywhere else, for letting me stay the same. Thank you to the man inside my mind for staying no matter what lines I cross, for holding my broken pieces and loving them no matter what, for knowing I don't want to be fixed sometimes. Thank you to the man inside my dreams for providing me with sanctuary, for being the beauty within my deepest pain, for being whoever I need you to be. It's not always easy being me, so thanks.
Wow. Another round of applause from Mamaroneck High School. Right? Right? Who's going to tell them? Poets are going to tell them. That's who. All right, so last but not least, Fox Lane High School. Come on up here. Woohoo! You'll all get to eat dinner soon. We're almost done. They're prizes. Stay. Line up. You're showing off with that music. Thank you. Okay. I think you all have your own copy, but let me do this anyway. And I'm going to let the kids very formally introduce themselves, but I have the order here. So if you don't want to hold this mic, you can pop it up there, but it seems to be the way they're going. So, Kaylin, come on down.
Hi, my name is Kaylin, and the title of my poem is The Lord's Gifts Are Plenty. She is sitting down in her wooden chair during church, her long brown hair tied back in a low bun. But when she stands up, strands of her hair appear to be a shiny crimson red. She wears a long black skirt and a long shirt with small cluster flowers. She has on some glittery shoes and has a cast on her left leg. I assume she might have fallen or tripped and ended up breaking a bone. As the pastor speaks, she says, "Amen," and "Glory to the Lord." I look at her face. I can tell by her smile that she's happy to be in the presence of God. She has many wrinkles near her mouth, eyes, and neck. At that moment, I remember my pastor saying, having wrinkles is a gift from the Lord. It symbolizes that God has given you a long life. I'm happy to see that she has received this gift. After all, gifts always bring joy and happiness. But when I glance at her, she's holding the back of her head in agony. It seems to me that the pain in her head is fighting her, trying to distract her from God's words and bringing her down. After church, my parents speak to her. They tell her, "We will pray for you." She looks peaceful then and says, "Thank you. That is the best medicine." Thank you.
And next we have Ella.
Hi, I'm Ella Brown, and this is my poem, Exuve. Imagine grief as a living organism, not metaphor, not language, but flesh. Grief is a living organism breathing in the hollow of my clavicle, whispering in the dialect of broken ceramics, inhabiting the space between vertebrae like a ghost learning to acquire language. I am dissecting myself on this kitchen table where my mother's glass figures wait, translucent prisoners of memory, each one fractured breath holding impossible stories. Delicate dragons balanced on crystal stems, precise, fragile, about to shatter, like her hands that arranged them, precise, like her hands that never quite held me. Diagnostic protocol, self-unbinding. Inherited valuables, one-times unspoken trauma, generational silence, skin, topographical map of unmapped territories. Cellular memory, radioactive. Dong, cave, hole. The precise geometry of absence. I am learning the anatomy of leaving. How does one molt an entire self? How does a cicada shell, abandoned on cedar bark, brittle as a half-remembered promise, teach me the mathematics of transformation? See how easily form becomes emptiness. See how emptiness becomes a language. My mother's glass figures watch, silent witnesses, each miniature dragon a refraction of some internal landscape where pain crystallizes, where survival is a verb conjugated in skin. Observation. Grief is not linear. Grief is a topology. Grief is a living, breathing cartography. Meye ji shang shang ku. Every wound is a country, every scar a passport, every breath an act of radical reconstruction. I am not your cautionary tale. I am seismic event. I am tectonic shift. I am the space between what was broken and what refuses to stay broken. Procedure for radical emergence. 1. Metabolize silence. 2. Translate inherited pain into something luminescent. 3. Become the thing that cannot be contained. My body, a manuscript written in the dialect of survival, where loss is not subtraction, but a violent, brilliant multiplication. I am exponential. I am remainder. I am the equation that refuses simplification. Diagnosis, continuous unbinding. Prognosis, undefined brilliance. Listen, transformation is never clean. It is scalpel. It's wildfire. It is the precise moment when a cicada shell becomes more than memory, becomes proof. Proof that to become is to completely abandon every previous iteration of self. Note to self. Grief is not an ending. Grief is a living language, and I am becoming fluent. Thank you. Sorry.
Oh my, I have goosebumps. That's Ella's second year here in a row. Let's see. We now have Ariel.
The title of my poem is Rebirth. The transition from winter to spring begins to loom over his unsuspecting balding head. Children bathing in the sudden warmth gather around his bench, chasing each other until their knees get tired or a mother yells, "It's time to go." Only for a moment, he walks the remnants of his lunch over to the trash bin, limping and rubbing his own knees as if he too had been running with his friends. Patiently waiting for someone, he sits back down. A girl yells to her mom, "A few more minutes," oddly echoing the voices in his head. The wrinkles on his face, his balding top, and even his weak knees are all rewards from a long life. As he watches the children leave, dragged by the will of their mothers, a voice snaps him out of his thoughts. The woman's face is smooth, without wrinkles, but similar to his own. "Hey, Dad," she says, sitting down. Now, in the company of his daughter, he looks up, admiring the few new bulbs spring has gifted. The new has come from the old. Thank you.
It was Ariel Feldman. Don't forget your name when you come up. All right, let's see. We have Fatima. Come on up. This is also her second year here.
Hello, my name is Fatima Nahara Lemos, and this is my poem, Even the Sun Loves. The dirty snow spilled onto the sidewalk where we go, embedding itself into the concrete, freezing into a rink of ice. Those who dare to walk slide across. Then light appears, an older couple in their late 50s, a nearly bald man, a woman with curls that resemble their ginger dog, with a bright leash in hand. They wear matching, stylish red jackets, a statement of their love, something a young couple would do. They smile and giggle. The lady leans on her lover, hands clasped together. They think of their lives and how deep their love is still. Not even a single worry fills their actions. Even in a dark sky, they delight in. Thank you.
Let's see. Tyler, come on over.
My name's Tyler, and the title of my poem is Leader. He smiles with his eyes locked in place. He's in his red, white, and black jersey and black shorts. Green spikes show he's eager to run. As the announcer calls the race, he gathers the team. SHARKS. What does that spell? Sharks. He eyes the competition, cracking the joints in his knuckles. He begins their routine dynamics. The team surrounds him, mirroring each move. He stretches his hamstrings, reaching as far as he can to the floor, then kicking with his foot and reaching the sky. Striding out, he lines up on the track, waiting for that gunshot. The team cheers him on, screaming his name, bang. Sprinting the track, he catches runners, like a shark slicing through water to attack its prey, giving his team a fighting chance. He passes the red baton to his teammate, as well as his trust. His face, though gasping for air and dripping with sweat, remains confident for his team. Thank you.
All right, let's see. Marilena, come on over.
Hello, my name is Marilena Pascual, and today I'll be reading my poem titled Breaking the Cycle. My padre walks through the door with dark purplish circles under his eyes. His disheveled black work uniform makes it evident that he's exhausted following a long day of work. Even though his energy has been completely drained, he hangs up his Scarlet Champion jacket on the hanger and immediately steps in the kitchen to chop vegetables like a sous chef. As he finishes making the meal, he calls out, "Ya está la cena." After he finishes his appetizing meal, before anyone else can help, he graciously clears the table, removing all dishes and silverware and placing them in the sink, where he already has the sudsy sponge impatiently waiting for him besides the crowded sink. After he finished washing the dishes, his girlfriend places her arms on his shoulders, lovingly expressing her gratitude for being the man he is.
And next we have Jesseline.
Jocelyn Perez Alfaro, and the title of my poem is called Motherhood. In the aisles of the grocery store, she moves quickly and quietly. A woman in her early 50s with a sagging face and tired eyes from early mornings and late nights. Wearing sandals and a sweater, she sorts her thoughts, the never-ending list of things she has yet to do. 2 children follow, and her youngest is in the cart. All are bundled appropriately for the weather. Through the store, with only herself to help, the woman stacks packs of bottled water in the cart, and somehow, even at her height, grabs food from the high shelves. It's a mom thing. One of her kids calls to her, but it's like talking to a wall. Meanwhile, the other one wanders off, unnoticed. But wait, I forgot the coupons, she says to herself. With long lines and no time to waste, she goes to the self-checkout. What usually is a 2-person job was just one, and after many scans and beeps, the woman marches off, followed by her 2 youngest children. 2 hands on the cart and her eyes on the exit. Her mind crosses off one thing from her list. Thank you.
And last, we have Avery.
Hi, my name is Avery Stark, and the title of my poem is Nancy's Dwindling Days. Her crooked, nearly toothless smile lights up her wrinkled, saggy face as her middle-aged friends talk of meeting for lunch next week. I'll put it on the calendar, Nancy chimes, reluctant to see their social time fade to an end. To everyone else, this plan may seem small, but for Nancy, it was her all. Though she rarely speaks at the low coffee table, she enjoys listening to the others' gossip and seems to find comfort in the company. As her friends leave, one by one, the laughter on her face slowly dissipates, and only a deep silence resonates. Now, all alone, Nancy browses a magazine in the wingback chair. Her lips droop like a dying rose. When the welcoming warmth of her friends inside the cafe fades, she wraps her jacket around her fragile body and then rubs her hands together, as if the bitter cold from outside had snuck in. Thank you.
Thank you, Fox Lane. Wow. I'm going to invite back up Marina and Jane. Yes, and there are prizes. So be patient.
Thank you all. Thank you, Diane. Thank you, poets. That was exquisite. And thank you, listeners, for your generosity in your presence today. We will make this really quick. We have a quick raffle.
We have the raffle, yes. So, Marina, you're going to pick. We have every middle school person, poet today, in this bag, and we're going to put it in here. And Marina's going to look away.
Okay.
And, whoops, wait, we just dropped one. And she will pick somebody. So this is for, the first thing is the gift card, 25 gift card. We have 2 of them, to Jay Anderson's books in Larchmont. So Marina, you'll just pick and tell who it is.
Summer Magrino.
Where's Summer? You have to be here to, okay, so, yeah, okay.
Thanks,
Summer.
Liz.
Congratulations.
Say the
okay,
next
now
one.
we're going to do the high school.
I'm just going to go right from here.
Okay.
Isabella Bigatao.
Isabella? Is Isabella here? You have to be here to
Is Isabella here?
No, if not, then we'll pick another one.
Yeah.
Oh, she is. Okay, great, Isabella.
Okay.
Okay, now we have another, we're going to do it again for the flowers, these beautiful flowers. So hopefully whoever gets it will want to take it home. All right, so now for the middle school.
Emily Miranda Lopez.
Emily here?
You can share the flowers. Is Emily here or not? Okay.
All right.
And last is Shaila Bimani.
For the high school. Yes, okay, so at the end, you will help your parents, whoever's with you, you can take this to your car. The very last
excuse
thing.
me, wait. Okay.
Oh, she wasn't here? Okay. All right.
Jordan Manker.
Is Jordan here?
He's 6.
Oh,
We're not doing very well.
We're not doing well with the raffle.
How did she get back?
I don't know.
Eden Polson. I know you're here. I think you're here. Did she leave? Oh my God.
All right, well, we'll get to someone pretty soon.
Is Kaylin Barrientos here?
All right, okay. So, the only thing we have left, and then, so Liz, you can hand it to the teachers. So we have your bags with the anthology so that you can give it to your student as soon as we all leave. You can go into the lobby, you can do it here, take photos anywhere outside by the step and repeat board. So, would we give a big loud applause for Jenny Thiel and Ryeneck? Where are you, Jenny? Okay, Jenny? Yeah, you have the anthologies and some goodies for you on your way home. Okay, the next school we have is who's next?
Scarsdale, that's
Yeah.
Rebecca and Frankie.
Yeah, Rebecca.
You can come up and get your bags.
Third school?
Homix and Karen Kane.
Comics? Yes. Okay. Great. Thank
Chris
you.
and Westlake is next.
Westlake, Chris, come on up for your kids. And
Maria,
right, is it Mamaroneck?
Mamaroneck High School. Maria, Jennifer, and Christine.
Take it to the whole school.
All your anthologies are here.
Yeah.
And then last we have Diane, but she knows.
Okay, so